it's Glenn with Phoenix Home Services, and today we're out in Arlington. We're pouring an exposed aggregate driveway. Our concrete trucks have just come up from Virginia Concrete. As you see, we got everything prepped up here. We're going to be running a brick border on this particular driveway. We're using a special mix here. We're using an integral color mix on this concrete, which is a 4,000 psi with the residential pea gravel. We've got some plasticizers in here, and what we're going to do is the guys are laying out the concrete right now. As you can see, these forms here are all designed to where the brick is actually going to be laid. We've laid eco drain system in front of the garage so that as the water comes down this driveway, the water's not going to enter into the driveway. The eco drain system, of course, is built with a gradient in it. It comes in 16 different sizes, and that'll divert the water away from the actual garage itself. Now, as you can see, since we're using exposed aggregate, we normally use the residential microfiber, but since the aggregate's going to be exposed, we don't want to see that actual microfiber in the final mix here. So he's put in a 6x6 reinforced wire here, and what they'll do is, as they're pouring the concrete, the guys are going to be lifting the wire up into the center of the mix. Very important when you're using the reinforcement wire that the wire's in the actual center of the pour itself. So what we're going to do, the guys right now are basically just shooting out the concrete. The next step, what they will do is they'll start taking magnesium bull floats, and they're going to start floating out and smoothing out everything so that it's got a nice finish on it. They're going to use magnesium so that it doesn't bring up too much of the cream. If we were using the finished concrete, of course, we would then put steel trowels on it. We're not going to be using any steel today. We'll be using just magnesium floats. Now, if we come over here, what we use to expose the aggregate is we're going to be using a chemical called top cast. And this chemical is very forgiving. About 200 square feet per gallon coverage. We'll put it down with a spray bucket, and when we spray this concrete down, it'll keep the top 1/8 of an inch on this. We're using a top cast 125. It'll keep the top about 1/8 of an inch from ever hydrating, so it'll never actually set up. Tomorrow we'll come in with a power washer, and we will basically come in and basically clean the top coat off, and what will happen is it will have the exposed aggregate, and then of course the paste, which we've dyed the Omaha tan, and we're going to see a pretty good amount of aggregate in here, but we'll still have the Omaha tan paste in the background, and it should complement the brick fairly nicely on the garage here. It looked pretty decent. And then we got, again, like some brick pavers going in here. For this customer, he really wanted to make sure that he got the color right, so we had some samples put together for him and his wife to look at. So this is going to be kind of what the end product looks like as far as the amount of aggregate exposed. Over here you can see this is the actual full float that I was talking about, and what they'll do with this is a 4 foot bull float, and when they use this bull float, basically what they're going to do, once they get this screwed out here, they're going to take this bull float, they're going to start just basically taking this bull float, and they're going to start working this back. They're not quite ready to put this bull float on yet. But this is basically how this thing's going to get smoothed out, and how they're going to get this thing ready to put this top cast on. But again, the big key thing here is to make sure that this wire is pulled up into the slab, and like I said, we're gonna have some final pictures here when this thing's finished, but it should really look quite super. Thanks again for watching, folks. Yep, you can see here now we're power washing this off. We're cleaning off this exposed aggregate. Boy, it's really starting to take some shape. Nice color. That 125 top cast did a great job of consistently taking off of that paste. We really got a nice job, and on Monday we'll be starting to lay the brick in to our channels here, and we should really have quite a nice job.